Let's have a look at what happened last Saturday on Snarl.
Here comes Frankie Picone again. Another double team coming up. Off the middle rope, double axe handle to Jody Borick. From Frankie Picone. Frankie Picone takes her down to the mat, into an armbar. Here comes the ref checking things out. Man, Faye Crawford right there to make the save for her team. Frankie Picone goes to work on Jody Borick, center ring. Gathers her back up to a standing position. Gets a hold on her. Hard whip into the Power and Beauty corner. Here comes Marta Gordon again. Here comes another double team. Marta has her up. There's the clothesline from Frankie, and down she goes. Marta Gordon goes for the pin here. Here comes the ref. 1, 2, 3. Looks like Power and Beauty's going to get another crack at Las Reinas at homecoming.
The time, 9 minutes and 15 seconds. Your winners by pinfall, Power and Beauty.
Well, all right, that was then, and this is now. And coming up next, the RWL Women's World Tag Team Championships on the line. Josie Rod and Lisa Rivera Las Reinas defending the title against the returning pair of Frankie Picone and Marta Gordon, Power and Beauty.
And we've gone from just a two-man booth to having the whole damn thing filled. Wally, Johnny, Myron, and Christy all in the house for this one.
Naturally, because everyone wants to see whether or not Las Reinas will not only retain the women's world tags, but their unbeaten streak too. Sure, we've been busy all around the building tonight, catching up with friends here at the Ridge, but none of us was gonna miss this one for anything. And as for me, I'm here to watch, since Sylvia Strong and Rosita for Las Reinas are all barred from ringside for this championship matchup. Sylvia's not too thrilled about that stipulation, insisted upon by Josie Rod and Lisa Rivera.
Las Reinas have been getting lots of attention since snagging the belts away from Frankie Picone and Marta Gordon. Me, I just want to see if Power and Beauty will take the belts back tonight. The undefeated streak's got to end sometime, and I got a hunch tonight may be the night.
I got the same feeling. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing well tonight. Boy, New York, what a mess. Trying to get through all this snow just to get here to the Richmond. It's a hot mess.
It is absolutely true. The recent snowstorm here in New York City has made traffic and travel extremely difficult. But moving right along, coming up, the Women's World Tag Team Champions Josie Rod and Lisa Rivera Las Reinas here to defend their titles and their undefeated streak. This is their first ever appearance at the Richmond County Sportsplex, and they are hoping to do it upright.
That seems to be the general feeling ever since Frankie and Marta picked up the win over Jody Borick and Faye Crawford, that tonight might very well be the night that the streak ends for Las Reinas and those Women's World Tag Team Championships go right back to Power and Beauty and the Stronghold. I'm guessing the fan reaction is going to be dependent upon which team winds up winning. If it's going to be Frankie and Marta, they're going to get a great reaction. And if Las Reinas win and retain their undefeated streak and the titles, that's going to be a pretty loud reaction too. New York crowds are notorious for being extra loud, and you've already heard that.
Certainly a great deal riding on this match for both teams. Power and Beauty with the potential to become twice over Women's World Tag Team Champions, and of course Las Reinas and their undefeated streak.
All right, this is going to be Francis Frankie Picone starting off for Power and Beauty and Josie Rod for Las Reinas. As you point out, down a whole lot riding on this for both teams as referee Willie Johnson sounds the bell, and here we go. They lock it up, collar and elbow. Frankie Picone goes behind on Josie Rod. Inverted DDT, slamming her head into the canvas. Frankie catches a shot to the midsection from Josie Rod. Whips her to the far right turnbuckle. walks away and turns it over to Lisa Rivera. Oh, Frankie Picone still parked in that corner. She just came out. There's a right, there's a left, and a slam down to the canvas from Lisa. Lisa rounds up Frankie Picone. Frankie counters with a quick right. Lisa whipped to the Power and Beauty corner. Lisa counters with an elbow, finds her way out of danger. Frankie Picone locks her up, insists that she stays, puts her back in the corner again, and there's a clothesline that takes her down to the mat. Gotta admit, ringside looking a little bit bare without Sylvia or Rosita out there, as Marta comes in on the tag and she's calling for something big. Look at this. Wicked strength kicks to the chest of Lisa Rivera from Marta Gordon, who's definitely been real aggressive lately. Marta rounds up Lisa, whips her back into the Power and Beauty corner. Here comes Frankie Picone again, another double team incoming. And they're going to do it again. Whip to the ropes and another set of double elbows as Marta Gordon steps out and Frankie Picone steps in. Going to work on Lisa Rivera center ring. Another sweep of the leg. You'd think they'd learn by now. Hard Rat spins Frankie around into the abdominal stretch. Won't get a submission, but she can certainly try and wear her down. A nice hip toss counter from Frankie Picone. Frankie slams the arm of Lisa Rivera into the canvas. Rounds her up with another leg sweep. Okay. Lisa Rivera gets a hold on Frankie, whips her to the Las Reinas corner, and now driving shoulders into the midsection of Frankie Picone. And now a little bit of chokey time for Frankie Picone. The referee trying to break that up. Lisa Rivera backs off. Down goes Frankie. Lisa covers, hooks the leg here. One, but nope. Just about a one. And that's all she's going to get. Lisa Rivera sitting idly in the corner. Frankie Picone trying to crawl her way to her team's corner. But, quick, nasty counter, a shot across the face of Lisa from Frankie Picone. Frankie gets a hold on her, rounds her up, and has her up for a nice long vertical suplex. Look at this. A serious display of power from the power half of Power and Beauty. Big time vertical suplex for Lisa Rivera, as Frankie Picone goes back on the attack again. From a reverse dragon sleeper all the way up. Oh, slam down to the canvas hard. Rebound off the ropes from Frankie. Another one. And big time crossbody splash with a pin in the hook of the leg. 1, 2. But no. Lisa Rivera getting the right shoulder up. Frankie Picone right back on her. Gets her right back into the Power and Beauty corner. Marta Gordon comes in on the tag again. And here we go again. Another double team. Whipped off the ropes, double hip toss. As Lisa quickly tags in Josie Rod. Marta Gordon moves in, tags her with a right. A chop across the chest, another right. And whoa, hurled by the hair. And still going after Lisa Rivera too. Man, Marta Gordon's been just wild lately. Josie Rod has her up over the shoulder, takes a walk with her to the far right turnbuckle, drops her head right on it. Double boot stomp right to the midsection of Marta Gordon. There's a kick to the chest that takes her down all the way. Another double boot stomp. Another kick to the chest. Man, what a match this is going to be. Quick counter from Marta Gordon. Back up on her feet. Gets a hold on Josie Rod into the abdominal stretch again. Referee Willie Johnson checking it out, but another hip toss counter, this time from Josie Rod to Marta Gordon. In the Women's World Tag Team Championships up for grabs in this matchup. Marta whipped to the ropes. Josie ducks under. Big time knee right to the head. Here's another cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Josie back up on her feet first. Makes her way to her corner. Tags in Lisa Rivera. Marta Gordon foot back at a standing position. She charges clothesline. Takes down Lisa. Lisa Rivera counters with an elbow, gets back up on her feet, locks it up with Marta. Marta being escorted to the far right turnbuckle again, head first into it she goes. Lisa quickly countered by Marta. Marta countered by Lisa. Here's a quick kick to the midsection. Lisa Rivera whips Marta to the Las Reinas corner. And again, thrusting shoulders into the midsection. This time to Marta Gordon. Marta counters with a kick, gets back up out of that corner. Turns her attention to Josie Rod for a hot second. Got distracted, catches a knee to the head. Lisa goes behind, slams her into the corner. Marta counters again with a right. gets a hold on Lisa, whips her to the ropes, ducks under, makes the leapfrog, and whoa, missed with the elbow. Lisa puts on the brakes, grabs another knee into the head of Marta Gordon, and whoa, she was stunned pretty good. Lisa Rivera stalking Marta Gordon, already kicked to the midsection, and here we go, flatliner. Oh, man, wow, Marta Gordon is laid out flat. Here's another cover and hook of the leg, 1, 2, but no, just a 2 count. Frankie Picone didn't even need to make the save. Lisa tags in Josie Rod. Marta Gordon crawling her way to her team's corner as Josie Rod does a little bit of showing off. And here comes Frankie Picone on the tag. Jumping neckbreaker. Takes Josie down. And so far the momentum's gone back and forth quite a little ways here. Certainly else. Can't really tell who's going to win so far. Nobody's got a real tangible edge. Frankie covers again. 1. Well, just a 1 that time. Josie Rod rounded up by Frankie Picone. Frankie locks her up, whips her into her team's corner. Here comes Marta Gordon again on the tag. Another double team coming up for Josie Rod. Whip to the ropes, another double hip toss. As Marta Gordon takes over, a quick doula hustle and a kick to the midsection to Marta. And Josie delivers a neck breaker. A stomp to the back. Takes a walk and turns it over to Lisa Rivera. Marta Gordon on the outside apron. Lisa Rivera moves in. Marta comes back in. Marta whipped to the ropes by Lisa, who makes the duck under, makes the leapfrog, and another knee into the head of Marta Gordon. Josie Rod comes in on the tag one more time. A lot of quick tags in this matchup from both teams. Both of them real determined to win this matchup and get those women's world tag team titles. Marta counters, takes her down to the mat. Lisa rounded up, whipped to the corner of Power and Beauty. Marta Gordon rounds her up for a nice suplex. Lisa Rivera gathered up by Marta Gordon one more time. And again forced back into the Power and Beauty corner. A cheap shot from Frankie Picone and a boot to the midsection from Marta Gordon. Right in a 2-against-1 battle in that corner. Marta gets a hold of Lisa again, whips her to the corner one more time. Here comes Marta, here comes Frankie Picone again. And another double team off the top rope, double axe handle to the arm of Lisa Rivera from Frankie Picone. Frankie Picone locked up by Lisa Rivera. Hard whip to the ropes. Here's a duck under. And a driving knee into the head of Frankie Picone this time. And Las Reinas starting to slowly, gradually pull away. Frankie Picone in hot pursuit, but too late. Here comes Josie Rod. Josie locks it up, catches a knee to the midsection. And look at this. Whoa! Nice Hurricane Rana from Frankie Picone. Frankie with a hard forearm takes her down to the mat. Marta Gordon comes in on the tag. Josie Rod rolls to the outside. Marta Gordon moving in on Lisa Rivera. And whoa, another big mistake. There's another knee to the head. And here comes Lisa on the tag again. They lock it up. Lisa whipped back into the Power and Beauty corner. Look at this, from a bear hug, slammed into the turnbuckle, and a nice suplex from Marta Gordon as Frankie Picone comes in on the tag again. Frankie charges, misses with the boot, catches a shot to the midsection. Countered, whipped over the top rope and out onto the apron. Frankie Picone hangs her up off the top rope, down goes Josie Rod. Lisa Rivera brought in the hard way by Frankie Picone's loving blow to the back. As the momentum starts to shift one more time, this time towards Power and Beauty, the referee counting. As Josie makes her way back inside the ring, locks it up with Frankie Picone, whips her to the far right corner. There's a clothesline. Frankie Picone spun out towards center ring. Yet another pin here. 1, 2. Now you can definitely see the determination on both sides here. They are on a sacred mission to win this matchup. Josie gets a hold of Frankie, whips her to the Las Reinas corner, drapes the leg over the rope, delivers a kick to the calf of Frankie Picone. She stumbles out of the corner, kick to the midsection and a quick DDT from Josie Rod. Frankie Picone crawling her way to the corner, as Josie Rod does a little bit of showing off. Frankie Picone tags in Marta, and Josie right there to greet her. Marta Gordon resisting here, but look at this. Rounds her up, and there's a backbreaker from Josie to Marta Gordon. Marta rolls to the outside. And now Frankie Picone counters Josie. Marta Gordon gets a hold of her. There's a snap mare, a rebound off the ropes, and a kick right to the chest. Here's a cover and hook of the leg from Marta. One. Only just the one. Huh. What an intense matchup this has been so far. Whipped back into the corner. Frankie Picone brought in back on the tag. Another double team coming up as Josie Rod is whipped to the ropes, and another set of double elbows as Frankie Picone takes over. Double rebound off the ropes. A beautiful crossbody splash from Frankie Picone. Both these teams functioning real effectively. Well, of course, power and beauty part of the Stronghold, and you know how the intense training regimen goes with Sylvia Strong and her clients. Another tug of war with the arm of Josie Rod from Frankie Picone. Determined to take that arm home with her. She can't take the title. Man, Frankie Picone runs her across town, slams her into the other corner. Frankie again playing tug of war with the left arm of Josie Rod. Frankie gets a hold on her. He is determined to take that arm home. I'm serious. Josie Rod in trouble here. Frankie Picone just eyeballing her. Turns her attention to Lisa Rivera, tags her with the right, and goes right back into driving shoulders into the midsection of Josie Rod. There's a clubbing blow to the back. Well, just all in a day's work for Frankie Picone, but Lisa Rivera just comes in on the tag. Winds up the arm on her. Sets her up. Oh, man, nasty suplex. Lisa Rivera moves in on Frankie Picone in her team's corner. There's a boot to the midsection. There's another one. There's a third one. Frankie Picone rolls out of the corner. Lisa gathers her up and escorts her towards the corner, head first into the turnbuckle. Lisa Rivera gathers her up for a scoop slam. Takes herself up to the middle rope. And here we go. Missed it with the crossbody. Frankie Picone rolling out of the way. Lisa whipped into the power and beauty corner. Hard right hand from Frankie Picone. Here's a tag to Marta Gordon. And this ain't good. Look at this. Sets her up, and there's a clothesline. And here's that pin that Marta won the last match with. Here we go. One. Only a one that time. Lisa Rivera powering out of that one. Josie Rod whipped to the outside. Marta Gordon tags in Frankie Picone. Lisa Rivera laid out, starting to get to a standing position here as Frankie Picone moves in. She charges another driving knee into the head of Frankie Picone. Hard shot to the midsection. And here we go. Into an armbar, possible submission here. A bit close to the ropes, but she just might make it. Frankie Picone yanking that arm for dear life. But slammed, shoved away by Lisa. Running dropkick takes her down. Frankie Picone rolled over. Here's another pin. 1, 2. Wow. This has been a great one so far. Well over halfway over. And still so far no sign of a pin or a submission. Double boot stomp. And a kick to Frankie Picone from Lisa Rivera. Lisa goes behind on her. Another rising knee to the head of Frankie Picone, and down she goes. Josie Rod brought in on the tag again. Frankie Picone laid out near the corner. Josie Rod moves in. Double boot shoves her away. Quickly back up on her feet is Frankie Picone. Josie Rod caught and slammed head first down to the canvas. Frankie rebounds off the ropes. Another beautiful crossbody splash with another pin. 1, 2. Good up. What is it gonna take here, huh? Frankie Picone with a fireman's carry to Josie Rod. There's a sweep of the leg from Josie. Josie beats it out of town, turns it over to Lisa Rivera. Frankie Picone on one knee as Lisa delivers another rising knee to the head of Frankie Picone. Frankie rounded up, and look at this over here, a beautiful octopus stretch. Definitely a possible submission here. Referee checking things out. Marta Gordon coming to the rescue, saving the match for her team. Frankie Picone rolls to the outside. Lisa Rivera not at all pleased with Marta's interference. Marta counters her with a forearm. Frankie Picone on the outside being countered by the referee. Another counter from Marta Gordon to Lisa Rivera. Lisa tags her with a right, steps out onto the apron with her, has her up and slams her down into the lip of the apron. Frankie Picone finally comes to her senses. There's a jumping neck breaker, and down goes Lisa Rivera. Lisa tried to get her back in the ring, but no good. Slammed down to the floor instead. Frankie Picone willing to settle. Marta Gordon laid out, face down. Lisa rolled back inside the ring. Frankie Picone. Lisa being dragged by the wrists and ankles to center ring by Frankie Picone. Frankie with a stomp to the back. And look at this. Pretty nice senton from Frankie Picone, who covers and hooks the leg. Not even a one. Josie Rod right there to break up the party. Marta Gordon back at her tag corner. Frankie Picone shows Josie Rod the outside. Lisa Rivera laid out near center ring. Frankie Picone taking a walk for herself. Turns it over to Marta Gordon. About 3.5 minutes left to go. Clothesline from Marta Gordon to Lisa Rivera. He sets it up, another driving knee into the head of Lisa from Marta Gordon. Marta rounds her back up, locks her up, whips her to the Power and Beauty corner. A chop across the chest, a second one. Here's a tag to Frankie Picone, another double team. A whip off the ropes and another double hip toss. He can't take many more of those, that's for damn sure. Both members of Las Reinas laid out. Frankie Picone standing alone inside the ring. The referee starting to count. Lisa still laid out. Josie Rod standing around in the apron. Frankie Picone makes her way back inside the ring. Lisa Rivera makes her way back inside the ring. Josie Rod being brought in the hard way over the top rope by Frankie Picone, clubbing overhand right. Double axe handles from Lisa to Frankie Picone and a stomp to the leg. Now Lisa Rivera again stalking Frankie Picone here. This could be bad. Kick to the midsection. She's setting it up for a second flatliner, and boom, there it is. Wow, she is worn out. And Frankie Picone is laid out. Here's another pin attempt. 1, 2. Get up. Frankie Picone getting the left shoulder up. Nobody in the Las Reinas corner for Lisa Rivera. She's going to have to field this one on her own. Quick counter from Frankie Picone on the outside apron. Makes her way back inside. Locks it up with Lisa. Lisa whips her to the ropes. But a quick counter, a kick to the midsection from Frankie Picone. Frankie locks up Lisa. Whips her back to the Power and Beauty corner. And a quick counter from Lisa. She locks it up with Frankie Picone. Frankie whipped to the Las Reinas corner. There's an elbow to the face. Frankie Picone with a snap there to Lisa, a rebound off the ropes and a boot right to the face. Frankie Picone beating it out of town, turns it over to Marta Gordon with less than a minute and a half to go. Man, what a ride this one has been. Marta Gordon doing a little bit of showboating here, catches a chop, a kick. Lisa with a side suplex to Marta Gordon. Lisa takes a walk for herself, turns it over to Josie Rod. Marta Gordon back up on her feet. Quick counter from Marta, kick to the midsection, but look at this, a flurry of shots from Josie Rod. Takes her down to the canvas. Here's another cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2, 3. I do not believe it. Las Reinas win again, retaining their titles and their undefeated streak. Well, wow.
And what a pot boiler of a match, less than a minute to go. And well, as you see here, the denouement as Josie Rod came in on the tag and just opened up on Marta Gordon with a vicious series of shots, getting the 3-count pinfall. Fans, that concludes the first hour of tonight's RWL Homecoming. We will return with the second hour and a whole lot more action in just a moment.